only cheating with this lame, you allowed him to destroy your entire life. You use all you talking this money talk. You use all of your money. And I want y'all to know this, because I know a lot of people. I don't want to come across as I'm upset, but you know what? I am upset. You know why I'm upset? Because you mentioned my children. You had the audacity to mention my children, and you had the audacity. Can y'all hear me? Because some people complaining about the audio. Can y'all hear me? Let me know if y'all can hear me. Can you hear me now? If you can hear me, let me know. There's a few people saying they can't hear me. Let me know if y'all can hear me. I'm not covering the mic. Y'all saying I'm covering the mic. I let it go now. It's good? Brooklyn Jad in here. Jad, can you hear me? All right, now, yes. Okay, cool. Like I said earlier, for those who just came on the live, everybody who know me, and I'm talking about speaking with my actions, I don't do this. I don't clout chase. I never come on social media talking about anything. Even when I got stabbed in my back. Even when I got stabbed in my back by the person that I moved mountains for, fought battles, did everything, climbed, was super loyal to, I still didn't slander you. I still didn't say nothing. I just kept it moving. But you had the audacity to mention my children. So since you want to mention my children, and that I can't let ride. A lot of people like, yo, Pat, that's not you. Don't entertain it. You know what I'm saying? People see through it. She's bitter. She's miserable. Yeah, that's a fact. But you mentioned my children, and that I'm not letting ride. So with that being said, you abandoned my child for months. For days at a time. Knowing she had to go to school the next day, knowing I had to go to work the next day, since you want to get up on you and say, oh, you don't have a job. Because you know, when I got the executive position at TuneCore initially, knowing I had to go to work the next day, knowing my daughter had to go to school, you stayed out with the lane. You stayed out with the lane. You want to talk, and you stayed out with the lane while your daughter was crying for you. Tears. Also, she wanted to talk about all of this money talk and all of this and what I don't got and what I got. Since I met her, I have written 90% of the rhymes that came out of her mouth. And with me saying that, I want to say this to y'all. Anyone who has an iPhone, you know how iPhones work. When I was younger, I used to be able to write rhymes in my head, create rhymes in my head, and remember them. Just like that. As time went on, I got a little older, I started to write rhymes in my email draft. Now, if you have an iPhone, you go in your email draft. If anybody come around me, and we're in the flesh next to each other, I can type in any word from one of her songs, and her entire rap will come up. The entire verse will come up. I never asked for a penny. I never asked for credit. She was my wife. I didn't want anything from her. I just wanted to see her win. Like I said, I have written 90% of the rhymes that came out of her mouth since I met her. Y'all said it. Y'all said it numerous times. Oh, we know that's Pap behind that pen. Did I ever agree with y'all? Did I ever put it out there? I never said I wrote her rhymes. I left it. I didn't need the credit. All I wanted her to do was win. Wrote the rhymes, did the contracts, security, the whole shit. So you fabricating these stories, and it's very weird that you're talking all of this money talk, but in your background, it's everything that I bought. All of the utilities are in my name. So all of this fabrication about, oh, he don't pay no bills, oh, he don't do this, he don't do that. If you analyze her live, the whole thing is about all of this money talk. Why? Because she wants y'all to think that she's this big shot. I don't need to come up here and perpetrate no fraud like I'm a big shot, like I'm this and I'm that. For the simple fact that I speak with my actions. You want to talk about black love? Anybody who follow me, they know I've always been pro-black and had knowledge of self since I was a teenager. So I've represented that since I came in the door before I even knew you. Okay? So don't ever talk about black love and what else she said? I gotta remember. So, yo, first and foremost, very bipolar, very delusional. This is a person who will sit in front of you. She will post that live, and she'll say later, I didn't do that. I wasn't on live. You'll be sitting there like, huh? She will say something to you, and 10 minutes later say, I never said that. Very bipolar. And I don't want to talk bad about her, man. That's something that I never wanted to do. That's why when this took place, when she first got caught cheating with the lame, I brought it to her attention. I said, first of all, I couldn't even believe that she was stooped that low because he's such a cornball. Y'all see it, y'all say it yourself. I'm like, yo, it's no way it's this nigga. Because I'm trying to figure it out. Like, damn, who is this nigga? Because, you know, we were living a normal, peaceful life, raising our child like we planned to, and she started to move real strange. So in the process of her moving strange, it became stranger and stranger, worse and worse. So I said, damn, I got to see what's going on. What the hell is going on? I started to do my research. As I did my research, I found out she was cheating with the lame. So once I find out, I brings it to her attention. I said, mind you, I didn't knock him out because he slept with my wife. Like I told y'all before, the reason I knocked him out was because he shook my hand and then slept with my wife. It's a difference. But let me tell y'all this. So I bring it to her attention that I found out that she's sleeping with the lame. She tells me, him? Why him? Why him out of all people? Not Goods, not Hitman. My word is my bond is my life. I should give my life before my word shall fail. This was her exact words. Him? Why would I deal with him? I said, Rem, I know you're dealing with the lame. I know it. First and foremost, how it first fell on my radar that she was cheating with the nigga, he was running his mouth and it came back to me. They said, yo, Pap, this nigga out here telling niggas he fucking your wife. I said, word. So I did a little bit more research, connect a couple more dots. I finds out. She tells me this. Okay, I finds out. Mind you, it's not the first time she cheated. You know what I mean? I continued the marriage because I live by my wedding vow. I try to live by my wedding vows. Richer for poor, sicker for health, sickness and health, you know what I'm saying? Better for worse, death do us part. So you try to work through things. Anybody out there who's married, y'all understand. So I found out she cheating with the lame. I bring it to her attention. Of course, we have an altercation, like basically argument back and forth or whatever transpired, right? Okay. She decides, and I decide that we're going to go to therapy. But she brings it to my attention, to be honest. She said, I think we should do therapy. I said, okay. Even though I'm private and I don't like to speak to people about my personal business, that was a very, very difficult thing for me to do. But I said, you know what? Let's do the therapy. We go to the therapist. The therapist's first question is, do you guys want a divorce or do y'all want to work it out? Me and her both said we want to work it out. So when she comes on live and say, we haven't slept in the bed since 2022, and to make it seem like and fabricate a story like we had some agreement, you such a liar. There was no agreement. When I found out you was with the lame, you denied it. You shitted on him. Basically said, yo, why would I be with him? Why do you think I would be with him? And then you wanted to go to therapy. So check it out now. Check it out. So when we go to therapy, the therapist says, do y'all want to get a divorce or do y'all want to work it out? Me and her both said we want to work it out. I'm going to be honest. Because honestly, I didn't want to not live under the same roof as my 5-year-old. I love all my kids the same. But when you have children, and everyone knows that about me. Everybody who know me, y'all know my character. Y'all know her character. Very rude, very disrespectful, not just to me, to everyone. But that speaks volumes. I didn't want to we planned to raise her with both parents. That was the plan. So I did not want to not live under the same roof with my little girl. I was there from the moment she came out of the womb, and I intended, and I always told her,